One.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Peace, love, and happiness. Morning.
Morning.
Yeah.
Y'all have no manners.
How you mean?
I eat no good lamana.
Why
I said
wait
morning. How
until
you mean?
the podcast started to start eating? What's wrong with
But-
you?
Shut them now, why good.
The
Anyway,
heart wants what it wants.
Why you wait until we start eating to do the podcast?
I told you all in advance
Man,
that we
asking
started
real
at half
questions.
7, and we started at half
We
7.
told you in advance that we eat.
You're
Not
gonna
after.
finish by now.
All you know, yes, now my eating schedule is now.
So yeah, how y'all doing?
Cornbread.
Good start.
To be honest, that's the best way I can describe it.
Just give
You
my
know, I'm
number on the
also 6 on the
KMB.
KMB.
I am
You know, I'm
feeling
Oh, right, yes.
consistently a 6 on the KMB.
I am feeling a 4. You're giving me 4 vibes right now.
Oh no, I am a solid 4 right now.
Yeah. Sharma?
1.
Sharma even like here right now?
You hearing me?
Yeah, I hear you. You
Well,
really?
I wasn't.
You cannot preoccupied, to be honest.
Yeah. You have something more important
feeling
going
like
on
I'm
right now,
nine.
Sharma?
I feel
Keep
like
missing that food your mother made.
Like, I am
We could-
explicitly preoccupied, but you still started more preoccupied than I am.
Yeah.
I just thinking about mental health right on the start.
What? That's so like out of left field, you mean?
I feel that we
That's not
jump straight
the
into
agenda.
topics.
Let me just immediately just try and salvage this.
How are you feeling about eating chicken cartilage?
What?
Chicken cartilage.
No.
That on the schedule.
No.
Move on.
Oh, so you rather talk about
Shut up. No. Shut up. Shut up.
We're
I
just
think
like,
we should go right onto the schedule, to be honest.
yeah, let's just get into the weekly movie round. Alright. This week, me and Sharma watched Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, and Moana. And last night I watched Black Panther. What did everybody else watch?
I can't remember if I've watched anything this week aside from like, do TV shows count? Because all I've watched is Attack on Titan.
Is the new season out?
No,
Oh.
I'm not up to date, so I'm trying to catch up now.
That's
Only
cool.
thing I've
Otherwise,
been
I
watching
wanted
this
to
week is my
rewatch.
toe.
Yeah.
I've been watching my back. Too many haters.
Yeah.
Kael, what about you?
Yeah.
I really watch TV, but I've been watching a lot of like woodwork and stuff.
What?
Yeah,
Kael is the handyman.
yeah, on YouTube. And things.
Kael has never held a screwdriver in his life.
Hey, shut up, as we can count.
Cop.
As a carpenter.
Anyways, Sharma, the reason we watched Star Wars 4 was because you never watched a Star Wars movie before.
Yes.
So, what did you think of Star Wars Episode 4?
I thought it was good. However, it was kind of slow. Like in certain parts of it was just kind of slow and didn't really have any significance.
Like what? What do you think? Like a scene that stood out to you as useless?
Like kind of like the first half of the entire movie.
Damn. Okay.
Kind of like all of it.
No, it's just the first half, right? It was just kind of slow to progress to like the plot that they had in mind, I guess. But overall, it was good. I mean, it will only get better from there. So yeah.
Actually, like the next movie, I think is loose.
Okay, well then we
Oh,
just have
gosh.
to see.
Gigantic L.
Only up from here. Actually, no. They, like all of them are just loose, except for like episode 6.
You have hit the peak.
Tomorrow for sure.
Also, though,
horror for
on
sure.
another note, Moana was really good.
I love Moana.
I don't know
Oh
why.
yeah, no, Moana's great.
Why I postponed watching that for so long, but that was such a good movie.
Lachlan, what do you
Wow.
think of Moana?
Oh, I love Moana. I always love to see movies that represent other cultures, and I feel like Polynesian culture is very underrepresented. And I liked how the movie delved into like all the different mythologies and cultural aspects of Polynesian culture, while also having a strong, independent female protagonist.
I like Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Also, Dwayne the Rock Johnson sings, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
I do really like Moana character.
Why?
She's fine to me.
What
I
did she
think
do?
she's awesome.
Elaborate,
just-
Kael.
I just vibe with her. Or the chicken.
I don't vibe with her.
Nah.
The
It had one
vibes
scene.
were just
Do
around.
not vibe.
It
The
had
vibe
one
was not
scene
there.
Where like I wanted to cry. That was when their grandmothers was talking to her.
Spoiler alert, but yes,
And
the
she was on
grandmother.
Oh god, everybody watch Moana. Oh god.
Sharma hadn't.
Sharma did
The
not watch
whole
until
point
last week.
of this
Well,
segment
I've
is
seen
that
it now,
somebody
though.
had not watched Moana.
Anyway, she got mad at that spoiler. And when
It happens
she,
in like the first 10 minutes. It's fine.
the
I feel you should
spirit
put a
would come
spoiler alert
back.
on the movies on this still.
I just need to
The-
say
the-
that
the
my
spirit-
spirit animal is the chicken.
I think that's all of our spirit animal.
I just
And you
feel
put a
like
spoiler.
the chicken deep inside my heart. I am that chicken. It's not even a chicken. It don't look like a chicken. I don't know what
It is a chicken.
It's a kind of
The
bird.
chicken is the epitome of mentally I am here.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Black
Yes.
Panther. Ali.
Yeah. Okay. So Black Panther.
I was gonna
think-
watch it yesterday, but I didn't. Right, sorry, yes.
Oh, I should have like streamed it then because you know. I
No, I was too tired anyway.
Okay. Well, basically, right? Like everybody's seen Black Panther, right? Like it was huge when it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Black Panther.
Yeah. And like I guess we can like segue into talking about Chadwick Boseman after this, but like, you know, just speaking about the movie itself, I think it is like one of the better MCU movies in the sense that
Hmm.
all these movies have the same plot, kinda.
Yeah.
Like they just follow the same origin story where it's just, you know, they introduce the hero and how they get their powers, and then they go down a little bit, and then, you know, like classic five
Mhm.
arc story structure. You have the climax, and then fall in action, and then the ending. And like it just follows that. Like all MCU movies just follow that like really closely. But this one in particular, I think like stands out from the rest because of how unique it is in the sense that it's very brave in what they've done.
Yeah.
Like it's like you get a very distinct feel. You have you know, the soundtrack as well. I think it's like I love the soundtrack, and I love the, you know, the album as well that they did for it, and they do a lot of songs from that album in the movie.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, overall, like they just made a lot of steps to make it feel like different from the
Mhm.
other origin story movies that they do. And not to ramble too
Yeah.
much about it, but like my personal problem with this movie has always been the rhinoceroses. You all know what I'm talking about? Just-
Everyone knows.
The final battle
What happened to them?
and this
Yup.
big moment, you know, is very a lot going on, and then all of a sudden, the bunch of rhinoceros just running, and everything just goes to hell, and it's like, it just becomes like extremely like less enjoyable for me because it just takes you out of the movie immediately, and like it did not change after watching it after all those years, because, and I hate to rant like this much, but they established that the rhinoceri live at the border of Wakanda, and the fight is happening in central Wakanda. Daniel Kaluuya like blew into the horn, and the rhinoceri immediately get from like the edge of Wakanda all the way to the middle in like a minute, and
Well, listen. I wouldn't put it past them to have teleportation in Wakanda.
yeah.
To be fair,
But why they
my
like?
theory
How
would
did the
just be-
rhino to like teleport? How did that happen?
I feel like he could have
Them
also just
being
moved the rhino.
teleporting
Oh god, why
rhinos
my
does
dog
not do anything to make it a better scene. In fact, I think that would be worse for me.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
Because
I think
typically their rhinos had teleportation capability,
yeah,
and nobody else was using that. Just the rhino.
just like a bunch of people
Well,
in
the
short
rhinos need to get
rhinos.
places.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're big.
but yeah, I think like just, you know, the last act of the movie is weak because of, you know, how convoluted like the big fight scene was, and the fact that Black Panther versus
Yeah.
Killmonger devolved into CGI madness, and like
Oh yeah, no,
not as much
that
like,
was
you know,
kind of a mess.
solid action choreography, but otherwise solid movie overall. I liked it.
Although to segue off of that, I would say one of my favorite things about the movie in general was less like you said, it's less of an MCU like the other MCU movies, but more I feel like it focuses on the characters. So it's less about setting up cool
Yeah,
action,
the character work is
having
great.
cool action scenes. Yeah, it has the best character work in the MCU, and I will die on that hill.
Yeah,
Just the way
and
that
like
it goes-
Doctor Strange. I agree.
Yeah, but I feel like Doctor Strange to me had less standout characters. In Black Panther, it's like everyone who's on screen, everyone like at any given point in time, like you know who they are, you know what they're about, and they have some kind of connection to like the main overall narrative, which is kind of like this whole notion of like isolation and like should we help people that may or may not deserve it, and like have essentially screwed themselves, and like we are the ones who stayed safe all this time. Should we then go out and give our services to them, even though they may not have deserved it and whatnot, knowing like the evils that they're capable of? There's so many layers to the movie. I feel like that you like for a lot of movies, people will be like, "Oh, this is so deep," and they'll read into things. But Black Panther, I feel like more than any other MCU movie, has those layers and has like a deeper narrative and like a deeper discussion, especially with like the cultural aspect and like history and all of that. And I feel like that all kind of just lends itself all together well, just to be like kind of a beautiful tale that all like goes together perfectly.
Yeah, and like they kind of go like
yeah.
really heavy-handed on the history too. Like they make a point out
Yeah.
of seeing is like they both have like different historical approaches. Black Panther and Killmonger. Like Killmonger's intent on like
Yeah.
you know taking back what he feels was taken from him, and uh Black Panther's like we were wronged, but like I think we should like focus on our people and like being a part of the world, not taking over it.
And that being said, Killmonger is, to be quite honest, possibly my favorite villain in the entire MCU. Like the Vulture
He's
is
up
a
there.
really close second,
Yeah,
but like
I love
Killmonger,
Killmonger.
just like in such a complex character for what he is, he's so well acted. I have a Killmonger Funko Pop somewhere in my room for this reason.
I remember that.
But like,
I remember going into your room and seeing the Killmonger Funko Pop in Canada.
yeah. But like, yeah, just like in general, like just because I love Killmonger so much, to be quite honest, I love what he represents as a character. I love how nuanced he is as a villain in comparison to like fucking I don't know, like, who's another MCU villain? The Dark Elves from Thor: The
Yellow
Dark World.
Jacket.
Yellow Jacket.
No.
Yellow Jacket is literally Yellow Jacket is literally like every other evil capitalist in any other like action
His
movie.
superpower is that he's rich. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, I mean to be fair, that's Iron Man.
He's so on it.
Iron Man, Batman.
Iron Man's rich and smart. There's the difference.
Yellow Jacket just like puts on his suit and starts fighting, just starts swinging.
Yeah, just start swinging. But there's so much more I feel like I have to say, because I feel like I've said my piece about Black Panther in a lot of ways, a lot of different times, and it's been so long since the last time I've seen it, so I definitely need to watch it again, especially, given the world. But like,
Yeah.
just in general, yeah. It is like, I don't know if I'd say it's like the best MCU movie, but it stands out to me
It's
on a
up there.
personal level.
I think it's like in my top
Yeah.
5 from the MCU.
No. There's like
It's
other
pretty
reasons there's other reasons I would say, but I think I wanted to talk more about that with like the Chadwick Boseman section rather than just talk about Black Panther in general.
Yeah. Anyone else have anything to add? Kael.
I mean, it sort of follows the same. Lachlan. Can you mind
Sorry.
muting?
Dog
Yeah,
just
this- yeah,
has
sweet
something
device.
to
Let me
add.
deal with it. Let me deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kael.
That's kind of ominous.
I'm gonna handle it.
I really like watching movies nowadays because it's always for, especially superhero movies, because they give you generally the same sort of, okay, you have a good guy and a bad guy, and in the end the bad guy will always lose, but then in the after credits, or even at the end of the movie, they always give you a,
Something
we're
else to
gonna
look
have a
forward
next
to,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, like it's probably just me. I may be a bad person, but I just kind of want to see the villain win
Just once.
Yeah, once, and just
That happened
not have the
in...
hero.
That was Infinity War. Like, that's what Infinity War was.
Yeah, but then they eventually won again after.
No, but like,
Endgame.
like when it came out, you just have to go an entire year feeling sick because that was just one at the end.
But you also know that eventually he is going to lose.
Yeah.
Like he's saying he wants something where the villain wins, full stop. Not they win for now. The villain wins.
I'm trying to think if there
I
are any
guess-
movies like that at all.
Yeah, well, I guess No Country for Old Men.
Never.
If have you seen that?
No.
Is very boring, but I love it. It's like my favorite movie because the movie have no soundtrack, right?
My favorite movie, but it is very boring.
Yeah.
All my favorite
What's that
movies are
one?
boring, to be honest.
Lachlan happened to
Yeah.
might have to stay muted for a bit. I was like 10
Oh,
seconds.
well,
So you
I
I
really
came
nah,
in
you
to say,
really
yeah,
did.
I came in to say
Ali,
that, and then they were like coming down. So
That's crazy. Look, we
Ali,
could
I
be
didn't
even
think that's
pulling
the
a sneak
question.
attack.
What happened to 07?
It's a salute. The O is the head and the 7 is the arm.
You say, what happened?
oh, that
Wow!
makes sense.
Oh shit!
He is so
What?
genuinely surprised by this.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense. I thought it was a typo. I thought you meant to say okay or something.
And all y'all was doing it too.
Come on, Sharma.
No.
We feel like we're ready to move on now.
Mhm.
Let me have a minute for Chadwick.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna just introduce it by saying, in case you didn't hear, yesterday on Friday the 28th, Chadwick Boseman sadly passed away after fighting colon cancer for 4 years. And it was quite remarkable in the sense that he filmed 10 action movies while,
And
battling colon cancer and going in between chemotherapy sessions. And it's
he's
just
a
a very
monster.
intense, depressing thing to think about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If,
We're gonna have a
minutes
moment
of
of
silence.
silence. Yeah.
Alright, I hope that, wherever he is, you rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
And thank you for everything, Chadwick.
Yes.
Oh, come on!
God damn it.
They were quiet during the
Immediately
entire
come
moment
back.
of silence.
They
Yeah,
understood
because
it
they were
too then.
because it was the moment of
Respect.
silence.
We
They
respect.
understood that. Yeah, good
But like,
dogs.
alright. Yeah, alright.
Before we move on from this, though, one thing I would like to say is that people that are like using the fact that he continued working and didn't show any signs while this was going on as like some sort of inspirational thing,
Oh yeah,
I
no,
think
yeah.
Yeah,
is
definitely
very
misunderstood.
misguided mindset. They
Mm-hmm.
need to like think about what it is. Suffering in silence is not noble, it is horrible. That news and it was making
Yeah.
you think, oh my gosh, that's so great. It was to think it's so horrible that he
He
not only had to
continued
go
to
through
like
that, but
keep
felt the
working.
need to keep it
Mhm.
completely under
Yeah.
wraps at all times.
Yeah.
Like,
As like
Thinking of what he went
immense
through for like
pressure.
4 years.
Yeah.
yeah.
Although I kind of have, if we're going to move on from this here, I did want like I had something I kind of wanted to say
Go ahead, yeah.
on like the whole thing.
Go ahead.
Because okay, I need y'all to be quiet while I say this. I mean the dogs, not you guys. You guys can say interject. Anyway, but like I'm not gonna sit here and act like I was like his biggest fan. Like I've seen all of his movies. I haven't seen a lot of movies in general.
I
that
like
aren't
Black
superhero
Panther was the
movies.
first time I've ever heard of it.
Same.
But I loved him in that
Okay.
role.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the thing about oh shoot, I knew I wanted to say before coming into this. I know that I'm actually here to say it. I'm drawing a blank. But
Take your
like
time.
what? Yeah. What I think growing up, like I didn't necessarily have like fully like a concept of race because I never really grew up in an environment where like that was an issue until I turned like 12 and started going to public school. And based after that, I kind of always had like this weird, not necessarily an identity crisis, but like this whole confusion over what it means to be like black and whatnot and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I remember like in 2018, like not like back in 2017, like from the time the first post trailers dropped, it kind of like sparked something. It's like it sparked something within you, and then like a year later or so, however long later, when the movie actually comes out, when you see like just the impact it had in the world, and just like it's basically kind of like not just Chadwick, of course, like everyone who worked in the movie, but we're basically like coming out and like boldly stating, yes, this is where we came from. This is a picture of our culture and like what it means to be black. Um, like that really spoke to me, and that's one of the reasons it has such big personal significance to me. Because as someone who was, I feel like, was in a way kind of confused about that for a long time,
Right.
it really did just like help me feel like personal and like accepted, and I think did do a lot to like help reinforce my identity going forward and help who I am now. Um, and I know, of course, looking at like all of like just the details of, like I said, it's not just Chadwick, of course. Like Ryan Coogler, I love that man. He's a great director, and everyone he worked with. But seeing how hard Chadwick fought to like make the movie what it was, like I saw an interview yesterday, well, like a excerpt from an interview yesterday, where apparently someone didn't want him to do the African accent during the movie, and he was like, "No, I'm going to do this African accent because I want to make sure the character represents where he's from." And I
Right.
think that's really important just because he wanted to make a movie that was unapologetically black in the best way possible. And the effect that the movie had in the world, I think, is exactly the kind of thing it deserved and exactly the kind of thing he wanted. And knowing, of course, that it's not just this one role, that's the role that found me, of course, and the role that I was most like directed to because of like my interests and whatnot. But knowing that that's basically his career of like portraying iconic black characters and bringing them to the big screen, and basically trying to be the focus of like a conversation where he could make people understand more or less what it means to be black beyond just, I guess, the trends and what people see, I guess, every day, and really getting to like understand the black experience and every aspect of what that means. There's so much, yeah, there's so much I think behind what he's done that is so important. I know like everyone's discussing that already, but in the end of the day, just because of what that meant personally for me, I just kind of wanted to share that and say, I guess, a personal thank you to him for like what he's done for me and anyone like me who's gone through that. But yeah, that's about it.
Nice.
Nice.
And
Cool.
to like touch on what you said like a little bit, it's like when I see people
Mhm.
say that representation is like overdone and stuff like that. And to me that's
Mhm.
like the most ridiculous thing that, you could never have,
Mhm.
enough representation because kids, like
To me,
especially
there's so many.
kids,
Yeah.
they can't,
Mhm.
like as a kid you can't understand what you're capable of until you see somebody else do it.
Yeah.
Like that's how I see it. So it's like,
Yeah. There's so many different like people in the world, so many different types of people.
yeah, until I
And
see
you
like
can't. Yeah.
somebody like me doing that,
Mhm.
like then like I don't, know if I can ever do that.
Yeah, and it goes beyond, of course, just like race. It's like any type of like representation, like differences of
Yeah,
characters, differences of anything.
but I
We
think
don't
like
want
it's
to see the
especially
same
true for
buff
race.
white. Yeah, yeah, but like you don't want to, especially with like the black community, how much they get torn down in general. Of course, like other characters too. I'm also really excited for like Shang-Chi for that reason to see what they do with that.
Yeah.
But like also just yeah, like there's so many different types of people in the world going through different types of things. I know what it's like to kind of feel misunderstood and like feel like kind of lost because you don't know who you are in a way, for why I just shared and for like other reasons. So I feel like, yeah, for that reason, I always support any kind of representation. I always support any kind of like diversity in a public platform, and just being able to show off as many different like types of people in general. Because I remember around the time this movie came out, there was this one kid who we got into like a huge argument with because he was complaining about about like the movie in general, and how he didn't think it would be doing big things for like black people in general. I don't know. That kind of stuff just annoys me, and I'm really grateful that like we saw that there's that kind of push for it more now. Yeah.
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 All right. Anybody else got anything to add?
Well, I'll say, to add to like your representation point, is that
Mhm.
one thing people seem to overlook a bit when they talk about how representation isn't that important is that not only does it open up for more people to know, okay, I can do this as well, but it oftentimes quite literally opens up roles and stuff
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
traditionally, yeah, that traditionally producing stuff would be like, oh, we can't really cast this person for this role because we haven't, that there's not successful examples of that out yet.
Like
So
Idris
people that
Elba as
have
James Bond.
talent will get snubbed all the
Hmm?
time.
Like Idris
Yeah.
Yeah,
Elba as James Bond. Yeah.
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 Like as soon as somebody who has never represented in a role before or a group that has not been represented in a role before is represented, it opens the door for that representation to continue and grow in a meaningful way, because now there's the precedent and there's the excuse that producers use of, okay, people won't come out to watch this. That excuse gets shattered and actually brings up more room for talented people to actually be able to fill the roles that they should have been filled in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think kind of building on that in a little bit, I think it also kind of fosters like, because of course we're talking about within the communities itself that like are now represented, but at the same time it also builds understanding from like outside communities as well, from people who, because like the availability heuristic is like a thing where basically like it leads people to make judgments based on like their preconceived notions based on like the available information you have. So it's not just like if you're like a black person seeing like other black people doing great things, that's going to make you feel empowered. And if you're a non-black person who may not know that much about black culture, who's now seeing like great aspects of the black community, it can help you to understand them more, help you to like coexist with them, and help you to understand that being black is not more than just a skin color, more than just a statistic or like any news report or headline you see in general. Yeah.
Kael, Sharma, y'all have anything?
No, I completely agree with everything that is said, and I just always thought he was an amazing actor, and that I obviously would not relate to like my experience would be different from Lachlan's experience, right? But seeing how much people that movie and he especially like what I was trying to say. Hold on.
Take your time.
Inspired, impacted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like heartwarming, and it just makes you feel like there's still some kind of hope for people in the world, because like a lot of people still stuck in their ways about things, and it's because they don't know about other people's culture, and just seeing that seeing it represented like that for people to be exposed to it and understand it is a really great thing. So
Yeah, I think people oftentimes just assume that it's just like pure hatred that like fuels prejudice, but a surprising amount of the time, prejudice arises from people literally just actually being ignorant to the cultures and stuff people around them in a way that can be changed surprisingly quickly when they actually start to engage with these things. Like it can't be stressed how important representing these different cultures and ideas to wider and wider audiences.
Yeah.
Kael, you have anything?
No, pretty. I mean, yeah, like Sharma was saying, the movie didn't affect me the way it affected Lachlan, but I'm glad that the representation was there, especially since Hollywood has been whitewashed for a whole bunch of
Notoriously,
years.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, even things meant for, what is it? Cultures of color?
People
I
of
guess?
color. Yeah.
No, like cultures.
Oh.
They were also whitewashed.
Like Ghost in
And
the
make
Shell.
it seem that, yeah. I was thinking more like the whole animated Hercules thing.
Oh.
Yeah, and the whole thing of like, okay, now I'm not gonna go too far into Zeus being the hero because I'll get vexed, and it's pretty.
That's a for another day.
Yeah, away from the topic, but yeah, I'm glad to see that there is representation for a lot more cultures now, and it just providing more opportunities.
All right, we have about halfway through now, so water break time, fellas.
I only have like a tiny bit of water.
Hydrating.
Hydrate before you dihydrate.
Oh yeah.
Don't eat, hydrate.
Regime not here.
Regime's not here, so no word of the day.
He went to
oh no.
I'll find you a goddamn word of the day. I will not find you a word of the day. Do not expect a word of the day. Today will be wordless.
Yesterday's word of the day was Undertaker.
Nice.
Today,
Alright, I am connected.
today is
A shame that it is not yesterday.
asunder, which is in two parts or apart from each other.
Sounded
Really like
Godspeed You
copying
Black
Rajeev's
Emperor.
whole bars right now, bro.
Bro, bar for bar.
Word for word.
Oh, go on.
Bar.
Lamina.
Yeah, you alright to move on? Like, what do y'all want to move on to next?
I feel like there's only one thing that we can move on to
Yep,
at this point.
alright,
It's
yeah.
top of the list.
Okay. As you all know, Anjani Sharma is a notorious Islamophobe.
As we know.
Anyways, so when I used to work at the hardware store, because
Uh-huh.
I used to have a job at the hardware
Avi,
store. Huh?
are you on the pictures?
Okay, how am I supposed
Hey.
to play and tell the story at the same time? Alright, fine. Yeah, sure.
Can this
I
throw
can,
you off your game?
yeah, it's a short story, it's fine.
Can I handicap you?
Okay.
Crazy.
Oh, I accidentally pressed play. Crap. New game.
Watch me still lose.
Yeah, Fred.
It's not that big of a handicap. You could
Okay,
just
I feel
so
like if you're playing,
it's
yeah.
in challenge game. Okay.
I feel like you can share the screen and show the people the chess match while this is going on.
Yeah, that's what we do.
You want a cappuccino?
Oh, okay, perfect.
That's what we do here.
Mhm. Alright, anyway, Sharma.
No, no. Sorry, it was just the segue.
Anyway,
She being
yeah.
no.
So I used to work at a hardware store when I was like young.
Oh,
And
Go on.
basically, what my boss was Muslim. I am not Muslim, but I have a Muslim
Okay.
last name, anyways. And he was like, "Okay, I will carry you to mosque." And like, I've celebrated Eid before, but I have never, um, you know, like actively partaken in anything like remotely related to Islam outside of that. So for me, it was like a whole new experience. I didn't know anything about that. And
Boy, it's just like, yeah, let's go to
yeah,
go
he
to
was just like
mosque.
out of nowhere. He was like, you know what? Like, you're working here for a while now. It wasn't a while now. It was like a week, but
What a while for you.
it was a while for me because
By
I
child standards, that's a long
I
time.
have like notoriously low like stamina for these kind of things. And
Mhm.
he was like, yeah, let's just go. So we went to Joma on a Friday, and he's like, yeah, wear something like he's told to like dress decent because
Dude, that's embarrassing.
yeah. I mean, like, I was working in a hardware store, right? So everything I was ever wearing at the hardware store was like jean shorts and t-shirts. So, yeah. Like, younger me did not dress well. Older me does not dress well either. Y'all know this. But
Yeah,
I
I
can
definitely
attest
say
to
that.
that, yeah.
so, basically, like, it was my first time in a mosque. I've mentioned that already. So I didn't know what, people do in Joma at all. I just don't know. And, like, I got there, and I'm there with the boss's son. And, like, do y'all know what goes on in mosques? Do I, like, have to explain that to y'all, or?
Sir,
Probably best you do.
Okay, so what, like, you have to, like, face a certain direction. It's like where the sun, like, rises or sets or something. I have no idea.
Mecca.
Yeah, something like that.
points to Mecca.
Something like that.
We know
Lachlan
that
know
one.
better than you.
And yeah, it's like the certain, like, sequence of moves you have to do. I don't know how to describe it, but, like, you have to, like, kneel and touch your head to the ground and get back up, and you have to do that over and over again. And me
My
being,
turn.
yeah, it was your turn. Me being the simple, you know, young individual that I was, I didn't really know what was going on. And, you know, it wasn't like completely out of the ordinary. But one thing that of note that happened was, I was like standing up next to my boss's son, and like I was mirroring his moves. But then like whoever was in front of me, they moved up, so I had to move up too. So I was like suddenly alone, and then I was just doing this stuff by myself, and like I didn't know what the stuff to do, so I like looked out of place. It was really weird.
Mhm.
Expose you to the elements.
Yeah.
Disadvantage. You're like, yeah, now you know any move.
Who killed it? +1.
Yeah, like you're playing your heart out.
Yeah, like just talking the whole time. Kael is going off.
Oh, well done, Ali.
King
So, yeah.
Solomon meet.
Mhm.
Why did you put it on the list? I wasn't about to be talking.
Because you said you would do it.
You said this
I
Bible story
specifically
time.
said that. No, I said I would do it anyway. So King Solomon. Let's talk about King Solomon,
Yeah.
and specifically the story relating to the two mothers and their child, because there's a number of Bible stories, just to qualify the segment and how it will be in the future, that are incredibly hilarious to me for a variety of reasons. Partly because of how stone-faced the characters within them are, and partially because just anything can happen at any time. Like when you are reading a Bible story, you genuinely at the edge of your seat because anything could happen next, and everybody involved will just be like, "Yes, of course this happened." So King Solomon in particular, wisest man alive, is doing his thing. Part of the kingly duty is to make sure, like, to govern the courts and settle matters. So one day he's chilling, and these two women come in with one baby. And they start explaining the situation to him. So both of them had recently given birth. They had their children, they were very young. And one of them died in the night. One of the kids died in the night. So both of them have come now because like they were so young that and they looked so similar that the kids you can't actually differentiate them. Like other people can't differentiate them. And both of them are saying that the one that is alive is their kid. So one is saying, my kid was in the bed here last night. In the morning, they're still here. It is obviously my child. The other one is saying, the kid died, and then they swap them out, like Indiana Jones doing like a puzzle in Lost Ark or something. So King Solomon is like, word, I have complete knowledge of the situation immediately from this simple explanation. And without missing a beat, it's like, okay, well, we have two people and one baby. Obviously, each of you guys need to get half a baby. So he calls them back. He's like, yo, just cut the baby in half and give each of them half. Like, what's the problem? You God. Getting paid immaculately, apparently, because he has no questions. He's just like, wait. The king says he cut the baby in half. We cut the baby in half. And one of the women is like completely reasonable. She's like, yeah, makes sense to me. King Solomon, wisest man
With
alive.
life.
Do what you gotta
That
do.
makes perfect
Like,
sense.
I
I see
take
no
my half.
problems with this.
The other woman is like, you are a lunatic. Don't kill this child. I'm so pressed. And she starts breaking down. So then Solomon is like, all according to Keikaku, that is the real mother. Because obviously, the other one immediately just agreed to have this child cut in half. Why would she do that if it was her actual child? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you not even act like if you are taken aback by my suggestion to cut this child in half? And then everybody around was just like, yeah, weird, smartest man alive. This is why
Good
we all
job,
follow you.
Solomon. Yep.
And I'm
The
just
best
sat
part
there
though
like,
with that story,
wow.
Dylan?
Really?
Where
the
you come from?
moral of that
Dylan.
story,
Dillon? Oh shit, it's
the,
Dillon.
mo-
More
the moral of that
dropping after
story
this.
is impartial judgment, and that's the worst part. Like how the moral of the story is, yeah, we cut this child in half, and that's it. This is how you're supposed to.
Because
This,
I
this is
love that
wisdom,
story so
guys.
much, specifically because of the fact that the characters don't miss a beat. Like, they don't deliberate on it or anything. Solomon immediately hits it. He's like, I know the play. And he tells the soldier, and the soldier doesn't even like be like, are you sure? He's just like,
Yeah.
weird.
He
That
just
makes sense to me.
he was just like
It's just like,
he
yes,
getting his
sir.
bread.
He was
He
about the
getting his bread
action,
Yeah.
for the
dog.
day.
He's
Yeah,
about the
Yes,
He know what he
sir.
action.
gotta do.
And basically, I know like the moral of this story is supposed to be something, who knows? But what I take away from that story is that one, you need to be absolutely insane in order to be a king. That is wise. And two, you need to get a ride or die like that soldier that will, at the drop of a hat, be
Yeah.
like, infanticide is what you pay me for. This is what I am going to do.
Anything for the bag.
Someone said cut the baby in
Yep.
half. He just said bet.
Yeah, it's just like, bet.
On
Wait.
God.
Makes sense to me. Pretty great. And I especially love that picture that Sharma has shared because it has a lot of energy to
that's
it.
exactly what happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
basically it
would
in a
be
You just
nutshell.
seen
exactly
a
how it
you just
went
seen a
down.
dead
Everybody
baby
else
on
in
the
the court
floor
is
too,
just
though.
like, yeah, everybody else said, yeah, by the way, they brought the dead baby also. Can I just say that?
Yeah.
I mean, left out that detail. They were like, hey, let's just bring this child corpse to the king.
Mhm.
It's not really
Well, I mean,
relevant to the case anymore because I mean they're dead. Like, what are you gonna do with the corpse of this baby? But they brought it in anyway, and it worked out.
Everyone in this
it
picture is so white.
revealed who was the true mother anyway. Obviously, the one who was like, no, don't do it, is obviously the real mother.
Yeah,
But like, what I've never understood about that story is like, if you're attempting to take someone else's child, wouldn't you have a problem if the child is chopped in
yeah.
half?
It's like you
Yeah.
went through the
Because you're
trouble of
basically exposing yourself.
stealing this child. Why did you not even
Could you-
attempt to be like, maybe don't kill the kid? You immediately like
Yeah.
slice that child in half.
She probably
It's like,
had
it
some
makes perfect sense to
spite
me.
in her heart because she didn't want the other mother to keep the child
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she couldn't keep it. So she's like, if I can't get it, you can't get it. So let it just die.
Imagine how the story would have unfolded if she was just like a grade A actress. Like she was just like, oh no, like both of them like, oh no, don't do it. Like,
So
do
we would
you
just let
think
them cut the
It
baby
would
in
have
half.
been
that's so there
It
was
just,
would have
it
been
just
two
turned into a
dead babies
mafia at
on
that
that
point.
floor. Two dead
that's
babies
so
on
there
the
was
floor.
mid swing. Like that baby was not getting out of there. Someone would have been like, oh damn. Like, is that the
It's just
point?
Yeah,
Like,
that
mafia.
strange
oh
baby.
Like, I am the doctor. No, I am the doctor.
You just have to like play your heart, and your heart says, "Cut the child in half."
yeah.
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 In some part
Sometimes
of
you just have to.
my heart, I want to believe that Solomon didn't even plan that.
He didn't have a
Like
plan. He
it
just
just like
wanted to cut the
worked
child
out.
in half. He was just
Like
like,
he was just
"Yeah."
like these women came in. I'm like trying to run a country. Y'all come in all your petty shit, bringing a baby corpse into my room. Like just
Yeah.
take them out. Then everything worked out, and he was like, "Thank you, God." And God was like, "No problem," because they literally like have he literally has God on speed dial. That's how he ended up being the smartest man alive.
Godly wisdom.
Yeah. Anyways, I just beat Kael in chess. Oh,
Good
What?
job.
Sir.
yes, sir.
I
But
gotta
how
put
many
the report to the king.
blunders y'all have?
I only had one
Oh,
blunder, I
yeah.
think.
You'll
For funny
see.
graph, I had one blunder. He had 4.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mark has been
I
fumbled extraordinarily.
Anyways, you alright to move on? We still have like a lot to go through.
Sure.
I feel we skip Abigail Shapiro. We can.
Yes, please.
Alright,
Ooh,
Kael,
let's
you
talk
want to
about
do like
Balaton.
do the today's day in history real quick, Kael? What do you have for us? Give us like the one most prominent thing that you can find that happened today.
Gene
Wait, why
Wilder
is it
died.
called Today's Day in History and not
Because
Today in History?
Today's day in
Because
no,
history.
today's day in
today's
history
day in
sounds
history.
better.
Today's
Yes,
day in
that's why
history.
I'm asking why is it called that instead of just Today in History.
Today's day in history.
No. Yes,
You know what? Thank you. Understandable.
it's today.
You're not answering this question at
It's
all.
today's day
I
in
feel
history.
like
Okay.
that's the only answer you
Okay.
need.
Okay, Michael Jackson was born and Gene
Oh,
Wilder died. That's
nice. That's some history. That's definitely some today's day
Wait,
in
who
history.
died?
Mhm.
Gene
Gene
Wilder.
Wilder.
I'm
He
pull
was
up
the original
original what?
Charlie.
Mm.
What's the man name? Willy Wonka.
Pioneer. Oh, you mean Gene Wilder? Oh,
What? Gene Wilder. What did you think he said?
I heard Jane Wilder.
What? Who's Jane Wilder?
Isn't she the monkey
The
lady?
Pioneer woman. Eliza
Oh
Jane
no.
Wilder.
Never mind.
Anyways,
No,
let's
the
keep
Pioneer
it.
Woman.
How are you guys so misaligned?
No, the Pioneer Woman is Ree Drummond.
Pioneer Woman
No,
off of Tarzan?
that's the Pioneer
Is he
woman on
talking about-
Food Network.
Talking about
Yeah.
a different pioneer woman.
It's a different Pioneer
There's
woman.
another. Yeah.
Way too many Pioneer Women. Can I just say that?
Not too much Pioneer Woman.
Eliza.
It was
Jane
she's on
Wilder was
Little House
born
on the
on
Prairie.
January
That's what it
3rd.
is. Little House on the
She's
Prairie.
born on January 3rd. So that's not today at all.
Yeah, we were way off.
We?
Alright.
That was you.
Let's talk about Bellathon.
You want to talk about Bellathon or like the 2 random topics that we have, or me telling a story from press? for y'all.
You have another story.
Do we gotta do?
Yeah, I only had the hardware story because it just randomly come up because Kael called me a Muslim.
Because we were discussing how Sharma is blatantly Islam.
No, it's not. I'm not.
Yeah.
Propaganda.
You
Propaganda.
Anyways,
I
I
feel
can,
like you've put up no argument to sustainably deny that.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, I can like fly through the story in like a minute. So I know you'll remember this, Nikolai
I don't.
and Dillon. But
Sing along if you remember the
it
words.
would have been Sports Day. It would have been Form 4 Sports Day, I believe.
I have no good sports day stories.
Have no
Yeah.
All of
good
them
sports
end in
teams,
tragedy.
Yeah, this is no exception. This is when I signed up to do the long jump.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
You can't
Yeah,
go long enough.
right.
Ali was
because
the
you're long and you
tallest
jump.
person, and Ali had the shortest jump.
Why you just tell the whole story then?
Yeah. Moving
Well,
on,
that was that
fellas.
segment.
Next one.
It had
That
more
was like
collateral
it was the
damage.
year after like I had my growth spurts. I was like, yeah, I should like try and actually do sports stuff now. I'm taller, but like it was like before I like really started putting on mass from playing basketball. So I was still like just very
You're
weak.
You
still
still
2
skinny.
grams.
Yeah,
heavy.
but like
Yeah.
at least like my body now is just like I could actually carry around more weight and stuff, and I could like jump a lot further than I did then.
Before
He
you
Well,
was
stood
like
answer
on
me this
crutches.
he
question
has a
honestly. Wait,
No,
wait,
like
wait.
that's what happens, right?
Wait,
Like
wait.
when you have a growth spurt like that big, that fast, your body just doesn't keep up, and like that's what happened to me. Like my body did not keep up, so I had to do a lot of exercise to get back to.
Lachlan, what's your thoughts on that? You
Quick
also very
question.
tall.
Did that happen to
When
you
the
too,
wind
Lachlan?
blows too hard, does it blow you down?
What?
God damn it!
No.
When the
Define
wind
too
blows
hot.
too hard, does it blow you down?
The question is
Because
also,
I
do
Hurricane
you
wind.
feel resistant? Like, do you have to hold
Yes,
yourself to the earth?
I do.
Okay.
damn, that's
Alright.
crazy.
I
All
can't
right.
walk into the wind, fellas. That's just it. I'm
It's
The
a
like,
worst
better
part is
foundation.
the hoodie have so much like surface area that's like
it's
like a
drag me
mass.
back too. Yeah,
It's billowing you
it
around.
goes like
He's like one
into
of
the
them
hood
gliders.
and like carries me back. Yeah. But yeah,
The
it was
constant
humiliating. It
struggle.
was like this like Form 3 child was jumping further than me, and I was like, damn, I'm never doing this again in my life. And I have never
Form
not
3
jumped since
child,
then.
half your height,
Yeah,
half your weight.
that boy was jumping. And my boy Randy was there too. And he was just killing it.
That one
Hey,
embarrassing.
It wasn't
That
just
boy
Randy.
can
Randy.
jump.
No,
It was
no,
Randy
you
and
have
France
no
too.
idea. In
That
Randy's
boy
jump
can
over
Form
box
jump.
screens.
in Form 5, remember I do PE, right? Form 5,
Yeah.
we literally had like a week before sports day. He was like, yeah, we do our class, and we was like, oh, word. He's like, nah, I don't feel like going anywhere. And then we went to the back, and we literally make the long jump pit longer just for Randy.
You have to. The man is
We
superhuman.
had to dig a hole and
Holy.
fill it up, bro. Because
I remember
Randy
him
was just
telling
jumping over the
us,
whole
like,
pit.
he trains by jumping over, like, the box screens. Like, the big box screen
Yeah.
like me, he's like one of those that he's just be jumping over. I'm like, damn,
well,
Randy.
you know where Randy living? Randy
That boy's
living in the
leaping.
box.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it don't have box screens there. It just have like a hole in the ground. Not gonna lie. I didn't
Just
go
Love,
find
love your
box
boy
screens to
Randy.
jump
Shout
over.
out
You say
Randy.
this man living by the pit.
it's one of my bag graveyard. It just have hole in the ground.
God.
Yeah, line.
Hey, so yeah.
I support
That's
that.
my trip down memory
Guy
lane for the week.
Randy.
That's Randy. Love Randy. Shout
That
out Randy.
concludes our Randy segment.
Shout out to Randy.
Shout out
Lachlan
to
has
Randy.
no idea who we're talking about.
I have no idea.
You
He
know
sounds
it's
like a
Randy.
great person.
If you go into the Heavens Ward and look for the picture of the guy holding the bottle with me in the background, that's Randy.
Guy
Awesome.
Yeah.
holding
I will go
bottle
looking
with
for it
you
now.
in the background. Well done.
Yeah.
I think that
How else am I
picture
going to
you would
describe the
give it.
picture?
Yeah, Ali is looking like a young Michael Jackson. And guess who's born today? Michael Jackson.
Shout out Michael
Damn,
Jackson.
crazy. Shout out to Michael Jackson.
Don't shout out to him. He
Anyway,
cannot hear you.
let's move on to Bellathon. You want to talk about Bellathon a little
I
bit?
hate her.
We all do.
I hate
All
her.
my homies hate Bellathon.
Bro,
Basically,
she's white.
the summary is that
I mean, yeah, that's
She's white.
she signed up for OnlyFans, and like the big story was that she broke the single day OnlyFans record for revenue. But then you like look into how she did it, and apparently she scammed all her customers and made false promises. And OnlyFans, because that's the kind of thing that hurts their brand a lot, they cracked down the rest of the site and made a bunch of restrictions to prevent like Bellathon doing stuff like that. But those restrictions
Yeah.
basically just mean all the people that are dependent on it are going to be making less revenue. So Peloton basically screwed over the entire platform of creators and will probably see a mass exodus to Patreon soon. What do you think?
And you have
So
to
what you're
understand the
saying
magnitude of what she did, because she made
Yeah.
$1 million
24 hours.
it was
24 hours.
it wasn't even in the 24. Like, she made that money so fast, and she did it by a paid video, right? And in the video, she said, "Oh, this is gonna be nudes. People paid for it. It wasn't nudes. That was a scam."
She
So then
scammed the
people start
customers, basically.
start doing chargebacks. Now, when you do a chargeback, there's rates that the company has to, like. If you pay somebody $20 and you charge back as $20, the company loses money. It's not just that $20. They have
Because
to
of the
pay the
cost of the
processing rates and
transaction,
stuff.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
when you do that on the scale of $1 million, their company just got like axe kicked.
And also,
that's
like, the
that's
brand recognition,
insane.
like, went down the drain because
Yeah.
she made all of that
Yeah.
money by scamming everybody.
So then there's the perception of people using OnlyFans as like scammers.
Yeah.
And
It just hurt the plot so much, and she is.
yeah,
I don't think she said anything
for
about it.
no reason.
And, like, yeah, she did not need the
Peloton
money.
does not need that money.
Yeah.
She just did it because she felt like it. I mean, you could do it if you want to feel like it, but, like, don't scam people. That's common
Yeah,
sense.
like if she
Shut down
went
Can
on
terrifying.
you?
OnlyFans and then she
Can
just
she
used
be?
OnlyFans, it would be like,
Can she
okay,
be
cool.
sued for that?
I don't know.
Probably.
I have no
They
idea.
probably
I mean,
could build a case of some kind.
Yeah.
Because
If
she
anything,
did
that's probably
scam
just like false advertising, but I don't know if it's like
There's
that
nothing, like,
big.
explicitly in the law against it, I think, but I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
don't know.
that's
I
the
never
kind of
read the
thing where like
law.
yeah.
Yeah, I ain't going to law school. Miss me with that.
Mm.
So yeah, that was Bellaton.
Yeah.
Anybody else have anything to say? Or are we moving on? For like the 7 minutes we have.
Fuck
Why?
Lelithorn.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
don't
she
do that.
push
Is
out.
the
She
point.
posts out a tweet.
Oh, right, that's fair.
She did a tweet. Can you link it to any podcast?
Ooh.
To find out why. You know why. Hold on.
Oh man.
Fellas, I want to know
I'm
who's
so
doing
sorry.
this.
Doing the
She just goes into me. She's like, yo, so what's up? And they say, what do you mean? Like, it's literally all your fault.
Why?
just turn her
I
phone
hate
off.
when celebrities. I hate when celebrities don't use threads. They would make multiple tweets without linking them to each other.
Stop talking about Kanye West like that.
I know, not like Kanye. I'm talking about Bellaton. I miss the old Kanye.
Anyways,
Straight from the gold, Kanye.
y'all got anything else? Or ready to move on?
That's
Yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Alright.
When it closes, the statement I have is that every day it becomes much more and more apparent that the Zendaya was by far the superior lead of Shake It Off.
Yup.
Oh no, that was
Oh,
never
Zendaya.
question.
Shout out
Yeah.
Zendaya.
Shout out to
Zendaya,
Shout out
if
to
you're
Zendaya,
listening to
Zendaya.
this,
and I just get a shout out to Zendaya in the chat.
call me
Zendaya,
Zendaya.
please come onto this podcast.
Please. Anyways, we're gonna have a topic that Kael suggested like way last week. But Kael, you wanna introduce it?
Right. So I was telling Sharma earlier, or Rajiv, one of them. The whole thing I was thinking about was people do sports as recreation, right? But people also do sports as a job. They get money for it. But on the other hand, people also do art as recreation. Like my uncle, he would open up a Bob Ross video and follow along because that's what those videos
Right.
are for.
Mm-hmm.
And people also make money off of art. And I saw a tweet the other day. I can't find it back. I was looking for it, but it was saying how don't do. It was talking about art.
Yeah, stop
Don't
making
do-
my job your recreation. Yeah.
Yeah, something
Yeah, I
like that.
see that too. Yeah.
And I was
Yeah,
What?
that's
That
dumb.
sounds pretty harsh,
I
yeah.
was
The most
confused about it.
unhinged thing.
That's like
I
that's
thought
like
this was
saying,
gonna go the exact
oh,
opposite direction it went in.
anything you like, too bad. I just do it for money, and you need to stop doing it for fun.
Mm.
Like,
That is whack.
You keep going, Kael?
yeah, that's it.
Basically,
Yeah, that's
all I really have to say is they say, do what you love, and then it doesn't feel like work, right? But the thing is,
Yeah.
like,
Because
when you have, when you're doing it, like, when you depend on it, like, then it becomes a lot more stressful for me, and that's why I take
When
problem
is
with that
your bread
statement.
maker?
Yeah. So it's like, if I, like, let's say if I'm an artist, right? You have to imagine a little bit, but you'll get there.
Graphic design is your passion, so
Graphic
Graphic
design,
design is
man.
your passion.
Okay, so yeah, like, let's say if I'm a graphic
Control
designer, and I'm like,
Z.
yeah, I love photo editing, but then it's like, it gets to the point where it's like, is my only source of money? And I mean, I'm a freelancer. I don't have like an NIS pension, any of that, right? I have to like save all my money myself. And like, if anything happens to me that prevents me from doing my job, then it becomes like a very stressful situation. And like, that's why like I take so much issue with that statement of, it doesn't feel like work, because it's always gonna feel like work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always gonna be in that situation. It's just like, if anything, why did you post these?
Graphic design.
Graphic design is your passion.
Even like the transitions, you just gave them all white backgrounds.
Mhm.
But yeah, like, if it gets to the point where it's, I can't physically do my job anymore, or it's like I can't perform because I'm like stressed out or something like that, that's gonna
Yeah.
stress you out even more. And it's, you just digging a deeper and deeper tunnel. And that's not me saying that you shouldn't do something you love as your job. It's just, don't push it like, I don't even know how to say it. It's just, you have to understand that, like, with any job, no matter how much you love it, you have to be aware of like just how much.
Yeah.
Like, if you bet on yourself, right? If you bet on yourself, then
Yeah.
you have to like really go all in, or else might not end well.
You have to have an understanding that anything that you do as a job will feel like a job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you do
Yes.
something to relieve your stress,
Once your livelihood
maybe
depends
do
on it.
not do not make it your job unless there's something else you could do to relieve stress. Because if the thing that you do to relieve stress becomes stressful, then that is a spiral
That's
that is
really
very
Yeah.
dangerous.
difficult to
Yeah.
recover from.
Hmm. It's like, to me, that's why like you see a lot of like people who like play video games on the internet or like talk about certain things on the internet. They kind of start to grow like a distaste for whatever it is that like some people you see start to grow a distaste for playing video games, or start to grow a distaste for like talking about like movies or watching movies or whatever, because everything feels like, no, it has to be their job and it's related to their job.
Look,
Yeah,
let's
So
say
it's like I
internet
can
one
never.
more
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, burnout is a thing.
Look, let's
Yeah.
internet
I
one
can
more
never.
time,
Yeah.
please.
My internet. What do I do? I'm
Say
on
the
data
word
now. That's the
internet.
thing.
Let's say the word internet.
Internet.
Oh my
Internet.
god. Go ahead, that.
What?
Leave him alone.
That's
Leave
like
my
prime
alone.
Asian
That's
accent.
crazy.
Is
That is
well. Anyway,
crazy.
the point is, yeah. I feel like I would. I'm the type of person where I would never ever like try working like any kind. Oh gosh, why do they do this every time I talk?
just power through it. Power
Yeah.
through it.
They hyping you
But
up.
it's
They
like,
said, hush
yeah.
your mouth, bro. Eh?
I've tried. It does not work. But anyway, it's like, cause like I remember like days when like I would like write poetry and like people would read it and they were like, "Oh, that's cool. You should sell this." Like I know it was kind of just like an off statement, but in my head I would just like think like, yeah, I could never sell this shit, because I would never like, because I know for one that like I don't know if I'm always going to be able to have inspiration. And for me, it was like a thing where it's like I do it because I want to express myself, and like if other people are now coming in and like paying for it and demanding it, and all of a sudden have to like fulfill a quota, I'm not going to hold motivation for that for too much longer. I know for a
Yeah.
fact. Yeah. So it's like, if you turn a hobby into your profession, more power to you. I support you. Just, I hope that it doesn't like cause you to like absolutely hate the thing that you used to love.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
not to
Yeah.
go like full cucked socialist mode, but I do think that part of the reason that this happens and people feel pressured to like turn their hobbies into jobs, and that like when you are younger and you like drawing something, because the experience I would have a lot, like I would be drawing something and then one of my family members would be like, instead of just saying, "Oh, that looks good," they'd be like, "Oh, you want to become an artist as your job? Like you want to work at it?" I'm like, I
Mhm.
kind of do, but now
But
you are like
yeah,
making this expectation, because in this society we tend to associate that the only things that really have value are things that can
it's the
make
things
you
we can
money.
make money off of. Yeah.
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 So especially people around
I
you
mean,
think,
that's
okay,
that's a fault
you're
of
doing this
with the
thing.
previous generation.
Mhm.
That's not just the previous generation. That's like one of these symptoms of capitalism. When you live in a world where you need money to survive, when you are using a lot of time to do something that's not making you money, there's this feeling of, is this even worth it? Is this something that I should be doing? Like instills this feeling of pressure to like stop doing things that you enjoy and start doing things that are productive. Even though you are being productive, just not for money, it's something for you. And people need to like assign value to things in their life and it with the monetary value to bring them.
So what you're saying is capitalism is a dehumanizing system that removes all value, all personal and sentimental value from things, and just leaves us as husks who need to make money.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
fuck capitalism. I think we can all agree. All my homies hate capitalism.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
I like woodworking.
Anybody else have anything to add? Sharma,
Sharma.
No, I
Dillon.
completely agree with everything that was said.
I agree
Yes.
as well with Nikolai.
Like any whole podcast, even though you say
Because in theory, that's kind of what I do. And at this point, that like, obviously I like drawing, right? And
Yeah.
obviously I like tattoos, right? So I was given the opportunity to learn how to tattoo, right?
yeah,
But
that's cool.
in my brain is like, I never want this to be my main job, you know? Like,
Yeah.
obviously I want to teach as well, and I enjoy doing that, and I'm gonna do that. But like, I feel like inside I know that if I do this as my like 100% income at some point, because even now I do this as my recreation, like not even that much, once a week or something, I'll pick up my book and be like, yeah, I want to draw something, you know?
Yeah.
And like, if I try to do it, you know, like I'll be like, okay, I want to improve my art, I'm gonna practice every day. That don't happen because I immediately get burnt out because I feel like I'm not doing it because I like it. I'm doing it because I do it a purpose, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
so kind of like, I'll do this on the side, you know?
Yeah.
That was like the time I attempted to do a poetry blog, and then that lasted like a few months because I just burnt out really quickly and lost all my inspiration.
Yeah.
I had no idea that you wrote
Dillon.
poetry until you mentioned it later.
Oh, I've never sent it to. Oh yeah, I don't really talk about it that much because I feel like that means I'm gonna have to share it. Although I have no problem
You know
sharing
what?
it.
That's a topic for next week.
And-
We're all gonna do like secret talent show and tell. I'm writing down now.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Get ready, fellas. Come up with some.
Oh,
Oh, I won't
This
actually be
would
here
be-
next week. Ha.
I will be an excited.
Y'all are
Snake.
Snakes.
Snake.
Alright.
I have a
Anyways,
legitimate excuse.
it's been more than an hour. Anybody have like closing statements they want to say?
Bye
Oh,
bye.
show them the t-shirt.
Oh
Oh
boy.
yes.
The crowning
We're doing our first
achievement.
merch drop, guys.
Yeah.
Merch
The
drop.
do I have it on my phone? Somebody sent it.
What's
Like
that?
somebody
It's
tried
in
to.
the. It's in the
Trevor,
heavens
please
word.
tell me
I
you
can't
have
go into the
No.
heavens word because I'll accidentally
I'll-
show the password on camera
I will
again.
get it.
I
will
found
get
it. I
Alright,
found it. I
hold
found
on.
it.
I have it.
a
Oh
Alright,
well.
cool.
There we go.
crowning
BTA,
achievement
the
in
RIP BTA
design.
collection,
Sadness.
2020 edition.
Mhm.
Thank you
Yeah.
for posting it again.
I did.
Definitely.
Also, I need to share something that I found while searching through the pinned messages because I think it's adorable.
Not the password.
No, the password.
Oh no.
I love
I'm
that
also
Look at
picture.
them.
sharing something that is adorable.
Love this picture. Great
Also, no, yeah. If you pay us, if you subscribe to our OnlyFans, we will give you
Hey.
access
what?
to all of the BTA accounts.
Hey.
picture.
Hey,
hey,
This is
Belton,
not a
come
scam, trust
on.
me.
Hold on, wait. I
Oh,
have
God.
something.
Okay.
Give me fill the space, but I look fit.
You didn't fill this space. You ran out of topics.
Wait,
This
I'm
is the end.
looking.
It's
I'm
been an
That was the
hour.
point. That's how he started speaking. He said, "It is done."
We are done
Hold
here. Anybody have
on.
anything that they want to see? Sharma's
Sandra.
sleeping.
Future topic. I think we should all discuss our apps, but that's a topic for another time.
Oh, what? Discuss all what?
Our apps, like our usernames and stuff.
Why? Yours is
Just because
literally your
I'm
name.
curious.
Manfield too.
I have another one that I use for like gaming stuff,
What?
but
You have
like
a
the story
bonus
behind
dog?
that isn't that sweet.
Go back.
No, it's like the one that I used to use like as a kid, just before I started using my name.
I'm not
Like when I would
greenlighting
make accounts
that.
from like,
No, Lachlan.
but fine, we can have this conversation in private.
Me. All
Gotta
right.
live my
Yeah.
life, bro.
Okay. Anything else?
Don't
Good.
touching up
10, 9,
9.
8,
Stop
Bye-bye.
counting.
7,
We're
6,
done.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Done
1.
doing
Good
that.
night.